Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Jeremy Baker here on this Monday morning. I call it Magnificent Monday, but it's not so magnificent outside. So if you haven't gotten outside yet, if you're going to work, make sure you have a few extra minutes. Take it slow on the roads because there is some ice out there, and it's going to be there for at least the next few hours. I'm following along here on Facebook, so make sure if you have any questions, feel free to ask, or just tell me a joke or whatever you want to say there, what you're having for breakfast. All right, so there are a lot of colors here. We'll start with the winter storm warning. That was a winter weather advisory for the I-35 corridor east earlier, but a few hours ago, the Weather Service upgraded that really around 2 in the morning. So that means that's where the most ice accumulation is expected, up to about 1/10 of an inch at most. Mostly elevated surfaces, side streets, bridges, overpasses, your cars. Most of the main roads should be fine as long as they're insulated by ground underneath, but with temperatures in the low 20s, odds are there are some icy patches and glaze on a lot of those roads, not just bridges and overpasses. Where you have the purple, that is a freeze warning. That includes most of our area. We're expected to go below freezing again tonight and Tuesday night. Then things should get better. You'll see that in your 7-day in a few minutes. Good morning, Allison. Thank you for saying hello. And then we have the winter weather advisory. That's for the hill country. It's that kind of lightish blue/purple color. That is for running until about, I believe, noon, for less of a chance of ice accumulation, only about 0.05 of an inch at best, or nothing. The further off to the west you go, less of a chance for any kind of ice accumulation. So lots of colors there, lots of warnings, watches, advisories. Here's what we have right now. San Antonio Airport 21, Stinson 22. Yeah, it's cloudy out there, and there is that bit of freezing drizzle. There could be a few snowflakes mixed in there too. Not expecting snow accumulation though. Winds out of the north at 13, so it's pretty breezy, so it feels cold out there. It feels more like single digits and teens. Barometer 1022 millibars and the dew point at 18 degrees, so that humidity is at 88%. So it is humid out there as well. That's typical though when you get the freezing rain. Normally our low is 41. We really went down to 20. So it was very cold this morning. Record low 18 in 1888, nowhere close to that, or the record high, even further, 81 degrees in 1894. It's a long-standing record. So we're pretty cold everywhere. Rock Springs, the cold spot at 14, Kerrville 17, same story in Austin, 32 for Carrizo Springs, the only location in the 30s. Beeville 22, 22 in Floresville, Seguin at 20, and New Braunfels at 21, Del Rio 25. Nationally, you can see where that plunge of Arctic air is coming down right towards Texas. Of course, hey, we got temperatures like 21 and 20, nothing like minus 16 in Bismarck and Billings, minus 33 in Edmonton, Canada, but hey, that's why we're in South Texas, not as cold. Normally, yeah, it is slick out, Gary, so Gary, be careful out there driving, everyone else too, even walking, it can be a little slick. So keep that in mind if you are going outside today. Next graphic, there it is. All right, satellite radar. You can see west of San Antonio, there is nothing falling. There could be some freezing drizzle. The droplets could be too small to pick up on the radar, but we do have some heavier showers that are being picked up to the east of us, and we'll show you those around Gonzales, really New Braunfels, down toward Gonzales, Quera, Victoria, everything along the coastal plains. So the further you are away from San Antonio toward the coast, a better chance for any precipitation during the morning today. By the afternoon, things should quiet down quite a bit. It is windy out there too, or at least breezy. 21-mile-an-hour wind gusts in San Antonio in the past hour, 20 in Boerne, 12 in Rock Springs, 23 San Marcos, 26 Gonzales. So the further off east, again, still that's where most of the problems are. Visibility, not looking too bad. Looks like Pleasanton 3 miles, Victoria 3, Beeville, Carrizo Springs 4, everyone else not looking too bad, including San Antonio. 9-mile visibility. How is 281? It is just like all the other roads, all the other bridges and overpasses. There are some icy patches, but everyone's getting around. No roads are closed. So just make sure to not slam on your brakes and take it nice and slow as you head out for work and have a good day at work. Kodia, is that how you say it? Cody, hello. Cody, no Flickskin. Interesting name. All right. I hope I said that right and that it wasn't something bad. Here's the radar. The wide view, you can see nothing going on for most of Texas except for the freezing and drizzle. All the snow stuff off to the east, moving towards the Ohio and Tennessee valleys and the northeast where my parents are. Here is your future cast. Notice the clock in the corner starts you out at 11 a.m. We see mostly freezing drizzle on the future radar from San Antonio eastward, just like it's been, otherwise cloudy. Temperatures still below freezing for most of us. And by the early afternoon, most of that's out of here, but we still have the cloud cover sticking around. Temperatures staying below freezing. And there we go. Temperatures staying below freezing by the end of the day. Not much sunshine, plenty of cloud cover, and some wind to go along with that as well. No flexing. Oh, okay. That's like trying to read those license plates that people get creative with. I can sometimes figure them out. That one, no. Thank you for the explanation. All right, here's the future cast. We just took you through today. Here's Tuesday at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's going to be a cold one, still breezy. Temperatures tomorrow in the teens for many of us to start the day. So that should be the coldest of the mornings over the next several days. But with the sunshine, we warm up a little more, all the way into the mid-30s. So big time warmth on Tuesday. A little sarcasm, but hey, it's better than today. And then as we head into your Tuesday night, Monday, the purples come back, which means another cold one. No teens, seeing it in the 20s. Could have some teens for lows in the hill country. Mostly everyone else in the low to mid-20s. No precip Wednesday, and also tomorrow morning there shouldn't be any problems on the roads because whatever does melt today, when it gets a little above freezing or a little below, should be okay. It'll just evaporate. And then by Wednesday afternoon, we're back into the 40s and 50s, and we keep warming up from there. So pretty nice. How much ice total? Not much left. We're seeing at best here 0.05 of an inch across much of the eastern counties over west towards San Antonio. So not much more ice expected. Again, most of that is up until noon, earlier on. Driving conditions, yeah, we've got icy elevated surfaces, trees and vehicles across San Antonio, the immediate hill country up 35 towards Austin and the coastal plain, and minor further off to the west you go. Nothing for Del Rio and Eagle Pass though, so that's where you want to go if you don't like the ice. How about the future wind gusts? Here we are at noon in the 10 to 20 mile an hour range, some upper wind gusts of 25-ish, and then by the end of the afternoon into tonight, it really starts to pick up. Wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles an hour for many of us, sustained winds between 15 and 25. And then by Tuesday morning, still pretty windy, 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts for eastern counties, 10 to 20 in our west. And then by the end of the day, things finally start to calm down wind-wise on Tuesday, back down into the single digits and teens for those wind gusts. Current wind chill's pretty nasty too. Feels like 9 in San Antonio, 5 in Kerrville, 16 in Eagle Pass, 12 in Floresville, I think I just said that one, 6 in Seguin, 7 Gonzales. Let's see. How is 1604? 1604, oh, it's still got the icy patches on it. Expect that for at least the next few hours to around noon or so. So just take it slow. Nothing is shut down. 1604 is wide open. Is it going to get to Kerrville? We're going to get snow. There may be a snowflake or two, but you're not going to get any snow accumulation up there. Just a little possibly mixed in with any freezing drizzle. So don't expect to be making snowmen today. But do remember the 4 Ps. People, pets, plants, and pipes. Make sure you do have those pipes outside wrapped. The spigots too. But it's pretty cold already, so if you don't, might already have problems. Plants, of course, keep them covered. Once it hits 32, take the cover off or you'll burn the plants. Same thing for trees. Pets, if it's too cold for them, for you, it's too cold for them. So put some booties on those little guys, especially that one there. Look at that little one. He's so happy. And people, definitely make sure all your family's okay. Friends, loved ones, the little ones, the older ones. Excuse me. How is Highway 90 and 1604? Icy patches on those. Akela, I believe I'm saying that right. So take it slow on those two, but all the roads are open, so no problems at all for that. All right. Upper level pattern show we have a dip in the jet stream. That's allowing the cold air to come down. But as we head through the week and towards the end of the week, we see it bubbling up around the Four Corners area. That's making its way here to show us we're getting warmer weather, but not quite yet. Got to get through the next several days. So we've got the freezing drizzle now, a little snow maybe mixed in, very, very light, especially north of Bexar County. Temperatures in the low 20s, mostly cloudy and 30 by noon. A cold day, 4 o'clock, it'll be 34 for a high, so chilly stuff. And the freezing rain threat should largely cut off by noon. Well, I wouldn't say no problems at all, Brian, but on the roads there are some, icy patches, but all the roads are open, so hopefully there aren't too many problems. But if you want for more traffic information, I believe it's Maggie has that with all of our cut-ins at the top and bottom of each half hour. So she's got all that info. I got the weather. Clearing out tonight, a cold night, a low temperature of 19. Not expecting refreezing. Anything that melts should evaporate. Breezy though to windy, northeast winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Sunrise at 7:30. How is Highway 16 to Roseburg? Where is Roseburg? Let's look at this. Roseburg. Oop, almost had it. 166 miles, jeez. Highway 16, so I assume between San Antonio and Houston. There is a little bit more of a problem with the frozen precipitation towards Houston because it's all off to the east. But for the most part, I think if you take it slow, you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Tomorrow, here's your 7-day forecast. So for tomorrow, we've got today, the freezing drizzle. By the way, the Martin Luther King March has been canceled. I don't know if they'll postpone it some other day, but as far as we know, it's canceled. 50% chance of freezing drizzle, mostly in the morning. Tomorrow, cold, breezy, 19 to start, 37 to finish. Wednesday, 18 to start, 47 to finish. A front comes in, but really it's more like a warm front, not a cold front, because we go up to 69 for a high on Thursday. Really nice. Then the next cold front comes in, knocks us back down to 53 for a high on Friday. North-northeast winds at 20 to 25. Saturday, 48 for a high. Sunday, 55, and the next chance for rain on Sunday. All right. Everyone, stay warm. If you do have to drive, take it slow today. Try to give it a few more hours, get closer to freezing to level something to hopefully melt. But that's about it. I think I have another question. Driving to Laredo, how's that going to be? The further west you get, not too bad. There'll be some icy patches, especially in and around Bexar County. But most of the drive, I would think you're okay since it's going off to the west. You be safe too, Sheila. You're welcome, Candace. My pleasure. All right, well, I'll be back in about another hour or so. So if you're staying home today, feel free to tune in. Tell me what you're having for breakfast. Send me some breakfast. Just kidding. We have tacos. All right, bye, guys. Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Jeremy Baker here on this Monday morning. A cold one out there. We got some icy stuff out there. So, of course, we have a whole bunch of warnings or watches. We've got a freeze watch in effect for all the county shaded in that dark purple. It's pretty much all of us, including under the winter storm warning, because for the next few mornings we are going to be well below freezing. We've got the winter weather advisory. That's out for all the counties, the Hill Country, and also Uvalde, Hondo. Here, we've got a winter storm warning, though, for all the counties shaded in that pinkish color up the I-35 corridor. So underneath that is where we're expecting the greatest chance for any accumulation of ice during the morning hours. At best, though, 1/10 of an inch, probably more like 5/100ths of an inch of rain. Not a big deal at all. And then as we... Okay. And where the winter weather advisory is, west of Bexar County, at most a few hundredths of an inch of ice on the roads. My TV picture is out too. I see channels with the guy, but nothing else. Huh. Interesting. Most of the roads are good, but I don't know what's up with the reception for your TV channels. Interesting. Wonder what's up with that. I don't think there are many power outages either. All right, so right now we're at 21 at the San Antonio Airport, 23 at the Stinson Airport. Winds are at 13 miles per hour. Out of the north, barometer 1022 millibars, and the dew point 17, so it's pretty close to the air temperature, so the humidity is up there at 85%. All right, so normally it's about 41 degrees, so about 21 degrees below normal, so it is cold stuff. 11 in 88 is a record low, 81 in 1894 is a record high, so we're not near one of those. Well, sort of close to the record low, I guess. I'd say the high is a much more pleasant temperature. So we got 21 here, 17 in Kerrville, 14 in Rock Springs, 24 in Hondo, 25 Uvalde, 20 in Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, 32. That's the warm spot, if you want to call that warm. 22 in Beeville, 21 for New Braunfels, Gonzales, and Seguin. And nationally, you can see where that huge surge of Arctic air is making its way south directly to Texas. Of course, it's nothing like minus 23 in Regina or Saskatoon, minus 25. So we're not nearly as cold as up there, but hey, that's why we live in South Texas, right? If you want the cold, you go up north. All right. Or you wait here for it to come down here. Satellite and radar showing that everything is off to the east, and you are seeing mostly pink there, and that's mostly freezing rain, a little sleet in there. You are seeing some snow, though, on I-10 towards Houston. So if you are making that train down towards Houston today or over towards Houston, you're going to have to deal with a better chance for frozen precipitation, mostly in the morning. By the afternoon, things should warm up, and we should be in the clear. It's windy also. Wind gust 21 San Antonio, 17 Fredericksburg, Austin 19, Seguin 25, 24 Beeville. But that'll be getting windier throughout the day. Visibility has also improved a lot except for our southern counties where it's about 3 to 4 mile visibility for Cotulla, off towards Pleasanton, and towards the coastal plain. San Antonio is looking good. Rock Springs at 1.75 miles. So you can see the storm system responsible for this weather is pushing off to the east toward the Tennessee valleys and Ohio Valley and the East Coast. Behind it, there's nothing left really for it to do. So once that moves out, we're looking good. Here's the hour-by-hour futurecast. This is Monday by 1 o'clock today at 1. We're in the clear for the most part. Most of the precipitation out of here, but it will still be cloudy and cold. By the way, there is no Martin Luther King March anymore. They canceled that a little over an hour ago. As we head into the end of the day, more of the same. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. Some areas could hit 40s in our southern counties wherever the sun breaks through, so we definitely like seeing that. And then heading into the rest of your Monday and Tuesday, we're looking at cold temperatures, 19s to 20s, excuse me. And temperatures kept cold because of the wind out of the north. But then we start to warm up as we head into the rest of the day. A big warm 34 in San Antonio. So a lot of 30s for highs tomorrow, warmer than today. And then heading into your Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, more of the same. Mostly clear skies, less wind. Still cold Wednesday morning with lows dropping into the upper teens and low 20s in the hill country. 20s for everyone else. And then Wednesday at 4, we've got temperatures in the 40s and the 50s. Not too bad. So we are going to warm up, but until Wednesday. And then Thursday, a really nice day. How much ice? Oh, it keeps going down every time I do this, every hour. About just a couple hundredths of an inch left in most areas. All right, so not too bad. But do take your time with the roads, because all it takes is a little bit to cause major problems. And you can't tell where that black ice is sometimes. The road looks dry, but it could be icy. And we're seeing moderate driving conditions. Minor issues on the roads where it's in the blue shade further off to the west. More issues, of course, further off to the east. Yeah, but that's all expiring, or all those watches and warnings and advisories for the most part expiring around noon today, but we keep the freeze warning in effect for a few days. So the wind gusts by 1 o'clock, we're still in the teens and 20s across our eastern counties and Bear County. As we head into tonight, by midnight, easily back to the 20s and 30s, so would not be surprised to have some power outages tonight, thanks to all those strong winds. Heading into Tuesday Tuesday morning rather, the rest of the morning, we're seeing 20s and 30s again. Some areas mostly teens for wind gusts, and then by tomorrow evening, it's mostly out of here. So we just have about a day or so of the wind to deal with, and there's very cold temperatures. Here's the wind chill: 6 in Bernie, 5 in Kerrville, 9 in San Antonio, 9 in Seguin, and 4 in San Marcos, Rock Springs, Fredericksburg. No wind chill because it's so cold. Just kidding. It's not reporting for some reason. So remember those 4 Ps: people, pets, plants, and pipes. Make sure the pipes are wrapped. Plants are covered until it's 32 or higher. Make sure you take the cover off when it's 32, or else you're going to burn the plants underneath the covering with the heat. Pets, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for them. Don't walk them barefoot out on the ice or the cold sidewalk if you won't do it. And people, of course, check on the elderly and the young ones the most. Make sure everyone that you know is happy and healthy. And the good news is, like I was saying, the mid-upper level pattern will change. The dip in the jet stream bringing us the cold air will head off to the east, and a ridge of high pressure will start to move in later this week. All right, so we have the 20s right now, freezing drizzle by noon, maybe a leftover spotty area freezing drizzle. For the most part, just mostly cloudy, high temperature of 30, high of 34. Overnight tonight, we drop down to 19, so we'll clear out with a cold night. No freezing rain expected tonight, but it will be cold. Northeast winds 15 to 25. And even though we're not expecting anything out of that tonight, the frozen precipitation, anything on the roads that melts today should evaporate, because there shouldn't be that much. And then for tomorrow, we started at 19, end up at 37. Again, that Martin Luther King March has been canceled for today. Northeast winds still breezy tomorrow at 10 to 20. Wednesday, a low of 18, high of 47. Thursday, high of 37. A low of 37, the high of 69, so nice and warmer. Then the next front comes through to knock us back down to 53. And for the weekend, we're in the 40s and 50s with the next chance for rain on Sunday. All right, that is it for your weather forecast for this hour. I'll be back in about an hour or so. And after that, we will see how things look, and I think we'll have some improvement. All right, take care, guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, good Monday morning, everybody. We are live talking about the Arctic blast. We have several things to update you on, including, if you haven't already heard, we're under a winter storm warning. The good news is a lot of the moisture is out. This winter storm warning will expire at noon today, and we have no reason to believe that it will be extended just because of all the cloud cover, the rain moving out, moving to the east. We'll show you radar in just a bit. And where the moisture is moving towards closer to like the Midwest and the southeastern United States, more of the abundant moisture. And here it's really just about clearing conditions tonight. Our skies will clear, the clouds will move out. But remember, with cloud cover moving out, we lose the atmospheric pillow and atmospheric blanket. With more clouds, temperatures will stay a little warmer, but with clearing skies, all the heat that's obtained and retained during the afternoon releases into the space area faster. So what that's going to do is lead to a very cold overnight. Hard freeze warnings issued for most counties across the state and across our viewing area. That's more of the purple color. For the watch and warning map you're seeing right in front of you, to my left and to your right. We also have wind chill warning. So we saw wind speeds, up to 20 to 30 miles an hour, last couple of days as that Arctic front moved in. But tonight through tomorrow morning, we'll see another wave of cooler air move in, and that's going to help gust winds up to 30 miles an hour late tonight through tomorrow morning. So it's going to get windy, and of course the air temperature is not going to budge all that much. We'll probably see highs around 32 today, and if that's the case, we'll spend about 2 or 3 days in total time through tomorrow afternoon, about 40 hours at or below freezing. We'll show you that graphic in just a bit. In the hill country, likely around 55 hours at or below freezing. When you account for the total time, this Arctic air mass moved in on Sunday morning, and for some areas across the hill country may not get above freezing until Tuesday afternoon. Again, we'll show you that in just a bit. Good morning, Zane. Good morning, Leah and Amy. Chris, Bernie is covered in ice, Chris says. Yeah, we got some reports earlier last night. Some of the roads in Bernie, between Fair Oaks Ranch, I-10, Bernie area, did see some ice accumulation very early. I mean, here in San Antonio, a very light glazing of ice already, at 10 o'clock last night, 8, 9 o'clock last night. It started early. So anywhere in northern San Antonio towards Bernie, probably saw it a little bit sooner. And if we're still seeing patchy drizzle around the area, still some ice left over on the road. And temperatures are not going to get above freezing. If they do, it'll be around 4 o'clock this afternoon, but maybe 33. It's going to be very close. San Antonio and the Hill Country may get up to 32 to 33, but some models are saying 29 to 30 for high temperature. So it looks like we'll remain at or below freezing for most of us, especially in the Hill Country, and some areas to the south of I-10 and south of San Antonio may emerge, but very briefly for 1 to 3 hours this afternoon, and then we go back down into the 20s and teens across the region. So that timeline, that forecast coming up in just a bit. Zane, again, good morning from New Braunfels. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, Zane. And of course, we're always getting questions on winter weather here at KENS 5. A big question is, we've been expressing and emphasizing bridges, high elevated surfaces, overpasses, the flyovers, I-10, 1604, 281, I-35, upper level ramps downtown San Antonio. Those freeze first because of just how much air surrounds the bridges, right? So most of the roads are connected to the actual surface, right? The actual ground. The ground retains heat and at a more efficient rate. But notice on this graphic, you can see the roads lose heat unevenly, resulting in quicker heat loss specifically for the elevated surfaces. Reason being, cold air can reach above, below, on every side. It almost circulates the elevated surfaces like bridges and overpasses. So that's why these bridges, and whether they're low or high, whether they're flyovers or overpasses not too far off the ground, they freeze first just because of how much cold air circulates and surrounds these surfaces. Thankfully, most of the moisture has moved out, so we're not looking at a huge concern at freezing bridges tonight or tomorrow morning. However, with the small amount of rain, drizzle, mist we saw this morning, some of that may have puddled up in a few localized, isolated areas. Most of us are dry. But with the rain earlier this morning, while it was very light, you can't rule out a few patchy, icy spots tonight as temperatures dip down to about 18 in San Antonio. And the Hill Country, Fredericksburg, Kerrville, likely dipping down to probably about 13 or 14 degrees for air temperatures, and then wind chills are going to be in the single digits for most of us, especially in the Hill Country tomorrow morning. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. We're talking about the broader picture right here on satellite and radar. You'll notice between El Paso and the Panhandle, it is clear. They are seeing sunny skies right now. So probably a big difference in temperature from here to there in West Texas. But in our area, you can see some freezing drizzle now moving through Houston, and not so much in our area. We have seen patchy areas of light rain, drizzle, sleet. We received some photo and video from Lavernia, I think, of viewers, homeowners seeing frost and sleet accumulating on their front and backyards. But nothing in regarding snow flurries. Again, frost and sleet, probably the extent of it, and freezing drizzle, freezing on contact on, on sidewalks, on decks, on front and backyard patios, on bridges, of course, on elevated surfaces, on trees, things like that. I have to make another graphic about the exact ice accumulation totals, but for right now, the forecast models were going for anywhere from 100th to 5/100ths of an inch. It wasn't going to be a lot of ice accumulation. Some of the models last night were picking up to maybe 1/10 north of San Antonio, but for the most part, very light amounts of drizzle and mist overnight. That did not amount to much, but it did create a few icy spots on some elevated surfaces. Current temperatures outside, it is cold, everybody. 19 at Bernie, 19 at Bandera. It is cold, cold. 30 barely in Castroville. And most everyone in San Antonio in the 20s, and specifically lower 20s. Thanks to cloud cover and breezy north winds, we're not going to see a huge warm up, maybe up to 30 to 31. Some models have us to 32 to 33, but we may struggle to get out of the 30s all day depending on how fast our cloud cover moves out. Right now, we're probably going to remain cloudy all day until about 7 or 8 p.m. tonight, which means we're not going to see a huge recovery in temperatures over the next several hours. That's a look at the metro temperatures from Helotes to San Antonio to Bernie, 19 to 23 degrees. We're not getting an observation at the moment out of Fredericksburg, but from what I saw last, probably up to 18 right now or 17. They're usually the colder spots around San Antonio. Carrizo Springs at 30, 24 at Beeville, 23 at Hallettsville, 21 at LaGrange. So most of the precip that starts to form will be out east today. We can't rule out an area of patchy drizzle through 5 p.m. It's unlikely, and some of that will actually evaporate before it even hits the ground. But let's see. But notice temperatures don't warm up all that much. This particular forecast model says 28 by 4, and that's about it. And then we go back down. And again, we can't rule out an isolated area of patchy drizzle and mist, but most of us in our area will remain dry. If we're driving out towards Houston, I-10 East, that's where more of the widespread drizzle will be at, the more light rain. The coverage of rain will be towards Houston and East Texas, but most of us should see a drying trend through the afternoon and evening with just isolated areas of sprinkles, and that could cause a few icy areas, but for the most part, we're drying out. And speaking of drying out, skies clear by 8 p.m. tonight or so. Northeast winds a little breezy between 15 and 25 miles an hour, so there will be a wind chill factor tonight and through tomorrow morning as well. And notice this is a model that I'm agreeing with. It may change 1 or 2 degrees, but San Antonio tomorrow morning, I want to spend some time on this. Of course, remember the 4 Ps, people, pets, plants, and pipes. Temperatures in the hill country as low as 12 to 14 degrees between Kerrville and Fredericksburg, maybe down to 15 in Kerrville. San Antonio says about 20, but I think we get down to about 19 to 18 when it's all said and done, especially around the metro. Between Seguin, Lavernia, Helotes, Fair Oaks Ranch, there will be areas around north and the metro that do observe overnight lows tonight, tomorrow morning, down to about 18 to 17 in San Antonio. But the hill country likely down to 14, if not down to 13 degrees in some low-lying areas tomorrow morning. That's a hard freeze. Remember, there's a light freeze and a hard freeze. A light freeze is when you're at or below freezing for a few hours, but a hard freeze is below 29 degrees for several hours. And the fact that we're going to be in the upper teens, lower 20s for hours on end between tonight and tomorrow morning, we're not going to emerge above freezing until tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be several hours below freezing, so it's going to be a hard freeze. So if you haven't already, I'm sure everyone already got prepared Sunday night and Sunday afternoon, even Sunday morning earlier this weekend. Wrap your pipes, insulate them. Exterior faucets, drip your pipes inside your home, of course. I read about a tip, you can open your cabinets inside, in the kitchen and the bathrooms. Open up the cabinets, let the ambient air come in as your house heats, and the ambient air will actually surround some of those pipes and keep them relatively warm compared to the air temperature outside. So the ambient air inside the house will help warm everything inside the home. But again, very cold tomorrow morning, teens and lower 20s around the region. There may be a couple of 25-degree readings down I-35 between Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, areas like that, southwest of San Antonio. And then notice here is fast forwarding through tomorrow. It'll be sunny. It'll be bitterly cold tomorrow morning and a wind chill factor in the teens and single digits, especially across the hill country. And then notice tomorrow afternoon, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, will reemerge finally above freezing. This model says middle 30s for high temperatures tomorrow, but there will be spots across the hill country like Fredericksburg and Gillespie County and parts of Kerr County and Kendall County that may remain at 32 tomorrow. I think that the sun will at least hit 32 or 33 for the hill country tomorrow. But that'll mean if they stay at or below freezing for tomorrow all day, that'll be 60 plus hours total at or below freezing for the hill country counties, and specifically Gillespie County and northern Kerr County and Kendall County. We have a graphic to show you that. Of course, that is subject to change. Just because it's sunny tomorrow doesn't necessarily mean the hill country is going to rise above freezing, so we'll have to watch it and update the forecast later today and tonight. Just on the latest forecast data that comes in. So here's the hill country's timeline between this afternoon and tomorrow evening. This particular model I looked at just before going live about 20 minutes ago said that parts of the hill country like Fredericksburg, again parts of Kendall and Kerr County and maybe Kerrville, likely not going to reemerge above freezing tomorrow. So lower teens tomorrow morning, 6, 7 a.m., likely about 12 to 13 degrees when it's all said and done. You add in wind speeds up to 15 to 25 miles an hour. That's going to create wind chills around -2, -3. It is going to be brutally cold tomorrow morning with clearing skies and breezy northeast winds. And yes, I think Kerrville will probably emerge above freezing, maybe 33, but this particular forecast is going for like the central northern part of the hill country towards Fredericksburg and Gillespie County, and I think they hit about 31 to maybe 32 for a high temperature tomorrow afternoon. And that'll mean very cold temperatures all day, right? Sub-freezing for most of the day. Here's San Antonio. We'll have to fix this, but it looks like the forecast high gets to about 35 to 36 tomorrow. And that'll get us a few degrees above freezing, which is good news. We'll finally be above the 32-degree mark tomorrow afternoon. And let me just fix this right here. There we go. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to comment down below. We're talking about the Arctic blast. Again, if you're just joining us, all the rain is pretty much out of the way. There may be a couple of areas of localized patchy drizzle, but otherwise fairly quiet. And then that's a look at the San Antonio forecast. Let me refresh it and make sure it's okay. So just to reiterate from what we've been talking about the last 5 minutes, hill country counties likely going to be at or below freezing through tomorrow night and through even Wednesday afternoon. Will be warmer Wednesday, but for San Antonio, we should emerge above freezing by tomorrow, about 2 and 3 o'clock, middle to upper 30s for afternoon highs. So this is what I was mentioning, total time at or below freezing. This is what it looks like at the moment, but this could certainly change for hill country counties if they don't emerge above freezing tomorrow. So the air temperature dropped to 32 or below Sunday morning. For San Antonio, that was around 6 a.m. early Sunday. For the hill country, for like Fredericksburg, Kerrville, it was around 2 to 3 a.m. Sunday. And right now the forecast for the hill country doesn't call for 32 or higher until 4 o'clock tomorrow. And same thing for San Antonio, but you can see that the hill country counties may see temperatures at 32 or below through tomorrow evening and through even early Wednesday. So we'll watch it very closely. We'll monitor it. Right now, it's going to be 62 hours at or below freezing, but if the hill country, if Fredericksburg doesn't get above freezing tomorrow, this could easily turn into 82 hours for the hill country, but I think San Antonio gets above freezing tomorrow, which would mean 56 hours at or below freezing in total time. Just kind of calculating it from when we hit freezing on Sunday to when we're expected to merge above freezing on Tuesday, tomorrow. But yeah, the hill country has a chance at not seeing 33 tomorrow. Likely upper 20s, lower 30s for tomorrow afternoon. Probably not going to get above freezing, but if they do, that'd be 62 hours at or below. And if they don't, probably up to maybe 75 to 80 hours until Wednesday afternoon. We'll monitor it and keep you updated, keep you posted. Here's a 7-day forecast. Most of the rain is out, but we'll keep a 50% chance in half and half. Mostly just patchy drizzle. I'll probably adjust that for the noon show when we go live. Tomorrow morning, 19 to 18 degrees for an overnight low. Hill country counties probably down to 13 to 14 for morning low temperatures. Same thing for early Wednesday. Remember, clearing skies keep us extremely cold in the afternoons. You get huge swings in morning lows and afternoon highs, but it gets extremely cold in the overnights with clearing skies and very dry air. And notice a Pacific front moves in by the middle of the week, and that'll actually warm us up to near 70 by Thursday. 37 Friday morning, 53 Friday afternoon. This weekend looks to be fine. Small chance at some drizzle and isolated showers on Sunday. But the mornings will be cold, probably near freezing early Saturday, with highs near 50 Saturday afternoon, near 60 to 55 Sunday afternoon. So it's really just today and tomorrow and Wednesday that the mornings will be brutally cold. But after that, more to a seasonal pattern between Thursday and this weekend with just a small chance at rain by the back half of Sunday. So that's the forecast, guys. We'll probably loop these graphics for a little longer. We're going to get ready for the noon show. So feel free to tune in. We'll have the latest on local news. The MLK March that was canceled for today. Any local news, weather, traffic reports. We'll have Jessica Coombs, Sarah Fergani, our KENS 5 team, and our weather team here today. Me and Bill will be talking about more about the overnight temperatures, any threats we could see on bridges, overpasses tomorrow morning. It should be dry, but any leftover moisture could be a concern early Tuesday morning. I would say early Wednesday is fine. It's clear, it's dry, it's sunny for the rest of the week with barely any chance for rain in the forecast. So yeah, near 70 on Thursday and a pretty quiet weather flow coming in after today. So it's looking pretty good. That's the forecast, guys. We'll leave it on here for a little longer. And again, I'll loop some of these weather graphics in. So come back probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, tune into Ken's 5 News at noon for the latest on local news and weather. We'll talk more about, of course, everything that's happening in San Antonio and across the state. Everything along those lines, and we'll keep you updated everywhere when we can. All right, guys, have a wonderful Monday. Be safe, stay warm, and have a great rest of your week. Remember the 4 Ps, people, pets, pipes, and plants, especially for tomorrow morning and early Wednesday as pre-dawn temperatures dip down into the teens with wind chill values likely in the single digits tomorrow morning and early Wednesday.